People think that it's a surprising thing to do, to be a painter. And for an adult, I suppose it is, because there aren't that many people who do it all the time. But as children, we all paint. My first impression of Magdalen was probably arriving on a snowy day in 1981 for my interview. And I think I arrived at the Porter's Lodge having slept on a floor in Summertown in a friend's flat, feeling obviously quite nervous. And I remember being told that the interview was in the new buildings and not knowing where they were and not daring to ask. My parents met at Magdalen at a tea party in the President's Lodgings, I think in 1946, when I was applying to go to the Ruskin and glibly asked which college is the most beautiful. They both said without hesitating, Magdalen is the most beautiful college, so I put it at the top of the list. There was a studio in the cloisters which I used, I think, in my second year, and I turned up at the beginning of my third year to ask for the key in the Porter's Lodge, and they said, "Oh, we've got a new studio for you." And it turned out that the college had restored a summer house attached to Holywell Ford, which apparently had been used by Dylan Thomas. So for my third year, I more or less lived in that space. This project is a third collection of pictures which will be shown at Magdalen and then moved to London to the gallery there, to the John Martin Gallery. And coincident with that will be various events, but also a book which is mainly a picture book, but my contemporary and friend Ron Caffrey, who was at Magdalen with me in the 1980s, is editing a collection, a sort of miscellaneous collection of writings which will kind of leaven the paintings. I think the best advice to give to an aspiring artist is don't stop. All you need to do is 5 minutes drawing a day. You need to keep the files open, keep that side of things alive. You don't need to do much, just to kind of keep it simmering in the background. Stick your foot out from underneath the bedclothes and do a drawing of your foot if you can't think what else to do. Or drop a handkerchief on the table and draw that. It doesn't matter what, it's just about exercising that part of your brain and keeping it alive. And that, I think, is probably the most important thing.